Hey, well, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Revo's here. We got another one. Plague's Tale is out. People are playing it. People are outraged. Why? 30 frames a second is about the best it can do. It's giving it's all it's got. And this is becoming a thing because a Plague's Tale is also another beautiful game where it's not meeting this 30 frames per second, the 60 frame per second benchmark, and people are outraged. People are mad. However, I'm seeing a lot of people, once they play the game, they say the game is amazing, but they're just disappointed. So here you have it where it's being said, A Plague's Tale Requiem frame rate is another disappointment for PS5 and Series X fans. As the gaming industry pushed deeper and deeper into the next generation, performance has never been a hotter topic. Recently, gamers expressed their annoyance at the highly anticipated Gotham Knights and next gen exclusive following the cancellation of the old ports, not having a performance mode. Do know that just because they canceled it don't mean they weren't trying to bring it out and realize they couldn't do it and cancel it. Bring that up a little bit later. Instead of being limited to 30 frames per second, instead it's being limited to 30 frames per second, well below the next gen standard of 60 frames per second. Now it seems like that A Plague's Tale will have a similar frame lock on the consoles. Now, who set this standard that it has to be 60 frames a second? Oh, did Sony tell you that? Did Xbox tell you that? Do you know that now it's really coming out that it's likely um Dark Tide, Warhammer Dark Tide, Callisto Protocol, they're gonna be locked at 30 frames per second? Like, really take that in. If you've seen gameplay from Callisto Protocol, it's dark as hell. It's dark. You can be able to squeeze that out at 60. You would think. You would think. But oh, Revos. Oh, what about Returnal? And what about what's the other ones they throw out there? Halo Infinite, Ratchet and Clank. You're mentioning exclusives. These are nothing more than tailor-made suits for this, where it's made for these systems specifically to bring out the absolute best of it. These systems are not going to have access to the system to where they can tailor make it exclusively to get the best out of it. Hell, some of these companies don't even have the budgets of well, Coalition 343. Their budget's really from Bungie and Microsoft, but these other or well, I don't know the department for Returnal, but they're not going to have these. They're not tailor making this. These companies, they sit here, they make a base model. That's the truth. They make a base model. Once they get their base model, they because Series X is behind PS5 graphically. That's just facts. It's so they tinker with it to fix the Series X. They tinker with it to fix the PS5. You can get your graphics, um, your 60 frames a second. You can get your resolution, your high K, your 4 and 8K resolution. You're not getting both. What? Outside of the games I named, how many actually hit this benchmark? Forza, I think I've heard. How many PS5 games really hit the 60 frame benchmark? This is going to continue to be a thing. It's not going to stop. And so, but yet this game is still skating. This game is getting high reviews. Now, All I ask, and that's fine. Based on the gameplay, game looks amazing. It's really stealth based. I'm not familiar with this title as far as ever touching Plague's Tale, the first one, or Requiem. So I can't really speak on it one way or another. But all I ask is, as far as this movement of 60 frames or it's bad, keep the same energy. Is you got it's what I'm asking. What I'm saying. You got people out here talking about they getting headaches if they play a game that's slow. Really? So you trying to tell me if you go get a Game Boy Advance and you play Pokemon Gold and Silver, you don't get a migraine? Come on. And I'm not crapping on the consumer. As a consumer, you have the right to say what you want to say and voice your opinion, but you're getting migraines? Come on, man. It eventually you're going to have to stop looking at these companies and you're going to have to start looking at the publishers. You have to start looking at Sony and looking at Xbox, saying, why can't these companies bring out 60 frames per second and the resolution on your systems? Why is this not a thing that can be achieved consistently? What they probably did is they tested it and gave you a benchmark, and we as the people made it a standard. That's like marketing 101, right? Testing 101. You get your peak, you run multiple tests, you get your peak, and for sale's sake, you sell the peak. And it's becoming more and more obvious, unless it is an exclusive, they are not going to be able to make these peaks that they're setting. Unless it's, watch, God of War Ragnarok. You'll get that at 60 frames a second. That is the biggest exclusive. I know that's out right now. Horizon Forbidden West. You got that at past 60 and above. I think a couple times I heard 120, depending on the TV and the resolution, depending on the TV and the system. But you gotta stop. It's going to become more and more evident that they're not even having performance modes. You know, the ones that have performance modes baked in were games that already came out on the PS5, on the PS4 or the previous consoles, and then they added the performance mode in when they relaunched it for the new systems, meaning that they took it and tweaked it. But currently making it now fresh, these companies cannot bring you this. And I just think it's time you stop looking at the game designers. You might have to turn around and look at Sony and Microsoft. But hey, why would they do that, right? Well, I got some more news coming out as to why you are getting the short end of the stick. Stay tuned. I do thank you for listening. Please like, share, leave a comment down below. This is Revos. I'm out.